Yo, welcome to the Women's Basketball Lounge podcast. Grab a drink, grab a cigar, grab whatever your festivities are, and let's go. Boop, boop, boop. Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 11 of the Women's Basketball Podcast Lounge. Damn. Not I got it right on the intro and then messed it up in the actual episode. Oh well.
The
I
Women's Basketball Lounge
called.
podcast.
I never remember what this show is that we do, but we've been doing it for 11 episodes now, counting this one.
Yeah. We should just say WBL podcast. Just keep it there. Everybody remember the acronym.
But
WBL.
Do you think people not? I think we have to tell people until we get enough people. You know what I mean? Because they might think a WBL is some type of special BBL. One that you get. Like we don't do that. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna stop beating around the bush here. But we've got a very special guest for you. I'm super excited to introduce you to balloon art professional and comedian Jetuan Whedon. Woo!
Thank you.
I'm really excited to have you on. I had the pleasure of meeting you maybe not quite a year ago at the WNBA All-Star Weekend. There was a comedy show, and you were performing along with some other very talented comedians and Sam J, if I recall correctly.
It was so fun. Last July. That was great. That was so fun. That was a good set.
Yeah, and so I remembered you saying you were a new comedian. I was also a new comedian, still a new comedian. And so, we definitely met. And I was like, I want to work with this person. Followed you on Instagram. I'm like, I want to work with this person. This person is my kind of funny.
I appreciate that.
So,
I just thought I had my first groupie. I was like, my first groupie.
Isn't that exciting?
I'll play it.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about like comedy. We're going to get into that. But I didn't meet you as a professional balloon artist. So I was shocked to learn that when I followed you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like, how did you get into that?
What the hell is that? Please inform me.
During the pandemic, my older child turned 16. And that year we were supposed to take this like big family trip for like a week to San Francisco and do all the touristy stuff. And then pandemic happened. And we had saved up all this money going this trip. And we started like buying stuff. And for her birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little money and throw her a socially distant sweet 16. So like her two best friends were only children. We're going to have this big old party. So I tried to hire somebody for balloons. She was rude. She was straight up rude. I was ready to spend real money and she was rude. And I was like, you know what? Let me talk to my husband. And I went to the internet and I started making balloon decor. And then I started seeing videos of people making like flowers and dogs. And then I started watching videos on that. And I just started learning from the internet. And one of the first really impressive things I did was after the inauguration, there's Bernie Sanders wearing the mittens and sitting in the chair. And I made him. And it went kind of like viral in the balloon community. And people are like, wait, you've only been doing this like a few months and you were able to make this? And so I kind of took off. Like it was just something that spoke to me. And like I've won, I did like second place at a convention. I've made full-length dresses. I've made a lifetime.
Oh, that's crazy.
I did a life-size slot machine in Vegas. And then when you pulled the lever, I was able to make it like spin. So it looked like it was actually like cherries and
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like that. But it's super weird, just like Corona hobby that turned into like a business. So decor, twisting, like I'm the parent that like any birthday party, I'm like, look, do you want me to get your kid a present? Or do you want me to make balloons? Or do you want me to make balloons for your kid? Because I charge like hundreds an hour. So like I can buy your kid a $20, $30 gift, or I can give you of me. And they're like, oh no, we'll take the balloons. Absolutely. So it's great. It's
I
great.
would take the balloons too.
Yeah, right?
Personally. Yeah.
I'm
need
all
some
about
balloons.
bartering though.
I make very realistic penises, and
oh, wow.
I can make breasts. I can make it looks like a booty with a thong on, vaginas, everything.
Okay. We got bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, or just, a Tuesday. Whatever you into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to incorporate, I have one joke that I've incorporated a penis into it, the balloon. And I've only done it a few times, but I kind of lose control of the crowd because I throw them out. And the next thing you know, you see this balloon dicks just throwing around the room, and the guys are all, and I'm like, you want this dick, and the guy's like, oh.
That's
you
funny.
definitely couldn't do that in Vegas. You would definitely lose control of the crowd in Vegas.
Yeah,
everybody's drunk already, just passing dick around.
I love Vegas. I love it.
Well, I know we're gonna do it at the end of the show, but just for the listeners listening now, like where that balloon page, where can they go if they're curious right now, wanted to find it? Where can they go to see your work?
The company's name is Magnitude Balloons.
Okay.
And on Instagram, you could probably find it for Jet, the number 1 and a W, because my name is Jet1 W. So
okay.
If they Google either of those, they can find me. Because of comedy, I do balloons, but not as much as I had been, because Mick, it's just
Let's talk about it, because I mean, you working. So I want to get into the comedy.
It's a trip. It's like, there's so much of comedy where you're like, oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. And then the next day you're like, fuck this, man. I'm out. I'm sick of this.
Shit.
And it is the most dysfunctional fucking relationship you'll ever be in, because when that crowd hits just right, I've never really, like, I'm not a big drinker. I do edibles every now and then. I tried it a couple years ago at Mardi Gras. I was like, oh, okay. But I don't do a lot of that stuff, like to get high or to get drunk or whatever. But comedy,
there's no high like a room full of people laughing.
No, there isn't. There
is nothing like it in the world. I know for me, that was the thing that captured me, because it was improv for me first.
Oh, cool.
And so that really, just making a joke that lands, god damn, there's nothing like it. And I tried stand-up because I was scared to do it. I was a writer first, and I got into improv to become a better comedy writer. And then I tried stand-up because I was scared to do it. And I'm like, there can't be things I'm scared of doing. I'm just weird like that.
Yeah.
So I tried it and I loved it. What made you try stand-up?
I honestly have always wanted to be an entertainer of sorts. In high school, younger years, I did plays and poetry recitation, and in my nonprofits work and the arts work before, my previous lives, I've always been the person that could get up there and just riff the best speech ever. I've just been I mean, not ever, but I've always been that person that could grab them. And then at a party, I was always that person to be like, ha ha ha, just silly and whatever. But I never thought I could be funny on stage, because I tried a little bit in college, and I was like, it wasn't very good. And I don't think I had enough life in me to fully, connect with the crowd. And then a couple years ago, a friend of mine died suddenly in a car accident. And that's one of those it makes you take stock of where you are, what are you doing in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend Ray left Phoenix and went to Vegas to further his comedy career. And I'm like, to pick up your whole life. And then Mary Upchurch had done it like a couple months before Ray. And I was just kind of like, if these people can like just pick up and like go out on a limb to further this dream of comedy, I can hit an open mic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I roll up to this mic, and I was just gonna watch. And this
So
woman
wait, pause. Your first introduction was an open mic? Like you went straight to open mic? I took a class, bro. Like
no, I've never taken a class. I haven't taken any classes.
That's wild.
See, my mom was a natural bullshitter though. So like I think but like when you think about it, comedy has a lot of bullshitting and a lot of acting to it. And I've always wanted to do those things, and I've always assessed those things because my friend Jen Kober has been doing comedy for like 20, 30 years. And I've been watching her and following her path. She's been in TV shows and movies and comedy all over the world. And I've always been like, hey, like I would see my comedian friends and give them tags that they would use that actually worked, but I never thought I could do it. And then I was like, forget it. I went to an open mic and I literally just like did a conversation that like happened, and it worked. It was and it kept working. And then you have to learn from being like, some people are one of those people that you can naturally kind of make people laugh. But then there's that science of like, okay, you're leading the joke up too much. Okay, you don't need to say right. And so then it's the fine tuning of the joke. But like I went up there and I was funny the first night I did it. I was funny the second night I did it. And then that third night I did it at this place that was really empty and not a lot of people and nobody really liked it. And I got on the phone.
You got a bomb once.
Yes. I was like,
you got to. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah. I bombed at my first bomb. Well, the only time I've bombed, I've been really fortunate. I understand that bombing is a part of it, but the first time I bombed was at a at a bar here in Vegas. And it's funny.
Which one?
It's one you've done. But yeah, like I was like, I had that moment of like, oh my God, I bombed. To be fair, everybody bombed that night. It was just like one of them nights.
Come on, just tell me the first letter.
I can't, because then I'm gonna have to edit it out. No,
dang it.
No. But it's one you've done. It's one you've done, and it's not a comedy club. Okay. So that should tell you.
I think
it's in Vegas and it's not a comedy club.
I think I know what it is. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. You go.
But yeah, no, I was just going to say, but it also helped me like fine tune myself as a comedian to be like, okay, also I like doing these type of shows and I don't like doing these type of shows. So it helped me be like, do I really want to perform at a spot where people didn't necessarily come to hear comedy tonight? You know what I mean? It helped me think about those two crowds differently. Don't get me wrong. I'll get up anywhere. I can naturally grab the attention of a room. But I have a choice. So I can choose those things. But it helped me, like, as a comedian, start thinking about those audiences differently.
Yeah.
And that was a good experience. So anyway, you're bombing.
I'm knock on wood, where's some wood? I haven't had an official real bomb. I've just had nights that were a little more flat than others. I haven't had one that was like, and as far as like bombing, I don't count open mics because like we had one here called Devil's Advocate, and that's literally like, it is the place you go just to feel like shit about yourself because nobody and hardly anyone did well there, especially if it was only comics. But
that's the thing about open mics. It's always a lot of comics.
If it's all comics, a lot of times they're talking, they're getting their mind right to do their own set. Someone told me if they're not laughing, there's one thing, but also if they're not talking, that's another thing. Because if they're talking over you, they're not listening. But if they're quiet and they're listening to you, that's another thing, because they may not be laughing at you, but they see you. And I was like, and so I take note of that, because like sometimes comics don't be wanting to laugh because they try to mess with you or because they're in their own head about something. But if they're listening to you, I'll take that. I'll take that, because what I'm seeing is enough for you to think about, to mill over. So I'll take it. I'll take that. But I have a mentor, and he talks about having the visceral laugh. And that's one thing that I feel comics are always laughing. Like there's a laugh there when the crowd goes, ha, 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 ha. And then the visceral laugh is, ha, 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 ha. Like that's like it comes
that
from
one that came out of them.
That's the high we're seeking. Like if you just get the ha, ha, ha's, you're like glad with it, but you want that one person to come up and go, I almost pissed myself. And you're like,
yeah, absolutely. All right. So one thing that I'm curious about with you, like, do you find transferable skills between the balloon art and like stand-up comedy? Like, is there any connection there?
I think a little bit, because like essentially when I do work twisting in front of people, I am interacting with them. I am engaging them. Some balloon artists, when they engage with the crowd, they're very big, and most people would expect me to be that way because I'm talkative. I'm 5'10". I'm a big black chick. I do comedy, and they expect me to be like, hello, but I'm actually not like that with the kids. I'm more like, hey, how's it going, Mimi? What grade are you in? What's your favorite subject? And for me, it's all about that connection. Like when I'm doing a set in comedy, it is so important for me to try to connect with them. I want to like, if they're looking at me and making eye contact, I want them to feel like I'm talking to them. Like I want to feel like it's a conversation. And so I think that's the thing, is trying to find a way to get in and to connect with them. So, and then, I mean, going with the flow. Sometimes kid will come up and ask you for something. And you're like, I don't know how to make that, or if they're naughty, you have to put that kid in their place, because you don't want them to touch your thousands of balloons and your hundreds of dollars of supplies. So you have to learn to like put them in their place without like their parent being like, why are you talking to my kid that way? So like I've learned ways to silence hecklers while also not seeming like the big mean chick on stage, like and it's been working, and I'm like, oh shit, this is working, like, and I'll be like, we friends though, right? We friends, like I'm just like, I had a guy the other night, and he just kept like, yeah, and I went, oh my god, he thinks it's a group project, and I said, honey, I like my men cute and quiet, so shut up. And they just lost it. And usually I say shut the fuck up, but I'm working clean right now. So
I mean, clean is good, because you got to be able to do clean to get on TV.
Exactly. Clean. I want to be versatile,
but it's not as fun. Yeah, no, the versatility is important.
Yeah, because like the way my mentor describes it, he's like, look, do you want to be that comic that always kills but only does blue? Or do you want to be that comic that's solid but can play any role? As a manager, who do you think they will want to rep? So, and I'm like, they're going to want the person that can go any room. And so that's what I want to do. I'm trying to be that person, but that ain't me. And it feels like, I was like, am I selling out by being clean?
No, you're absolutely not. I do a clean show. It's with Comedy Sports, which is short form improv, and it's a national organization, and part of their brand is that it is family friendly comedy. It's PG-13. And so one of the things I love about Comedy Sports, it keeps me quick, because it's think whose line is it anyway, but competitive, like a cross between whose line is it anyway and Wildin' Out. Some cross between those two things. It keeps me sharp, but it forces me to be clean, because I can't say anything on that stage that is not PG-13.
Exactly.
And that stretches it, just to your point, the versatility. But I feel like it's like working a muscle. You know what I mean? It's just a different thing you can do, and it does make you more marketable.
I have a lot of improv friends, and even in conversation, I find they're so quick-witted. Like, just like, we'll just be joking around about something, and they always have a comeback, and I love that. I also, as far as I said, is it a sellout? I watched the masterclass of Steve Martin, and one thing that always stood out to me is he said, say what they're thinking. And so, number one, I always try to think of like when I'm writing something, I'm like, what are they thinking? And either say what they're thinking or take it the opposite ring and say something else and make it funny that way. And another thing is, it's not a sellout, because comedians, the art of the funny is a service-based industry. If we are not serving what they will consume, they will not have us anymore. So to give them what they want is not selling out, because that keeps getting you booked. But it's been a fun challenge. Like, I had a guy tell me he's like, oh, I really love that joke about your refrigerator, which is a rant that I got a new fridge and it's nice. And it's like, and it's a whole rant, and it takes your whole down a thing that you don't expect me to go. And it's clean as can be. So it's possible. It's possible.
It's definitely possible. Well, I just want to real quick tell people where they can find you on stage next, what kind of things you got going on, before we move into the next segment of our podcast.
I just had a whole barrage of shows, and I usually have a lot, but I'm actually kind of light this month, which is fine. Where will I be? I will be at the end of the month. I'm at a place called Lenora's. You can find that on my Instagram. I'll tell you in a second. And then on March 1st, I'm doing 2 shows dressed as the Little Mermaid. So my whole set will be me as the persona of Little Mermaid, which I've already decided to say I'm be like, let's face it, I'm the not so Little Mermaid. And I'm like, don't laugh. I can get more tail than all you fishes, So I have the whole costume. My husband 3D printed some shells. I'm ready.
Nice.
I'm so ready. So that's going to be fun. That's at Mic Drop Mania on March 1st. And my Instagram is funny Jet, Jet, and the number 1. So FUNNY, JET, number 1.
Awesome. All right, let's talk some basketball. But before we talk basketball, I forgot. I have a game that we're playing. I'm super excited about this game. Cue the game music. I'm talking to me.
No, I'm gonna lose.
So the name of this game is Who Tweeted It? And the way this game is going to work is, first things first, we all know Mimi reps the Dallas Wings super hard. And so we also know that I love the Las Vegas Aces. What y'all probably don't know is that Jetuan is a Phoenix Mercury fan.
Woo!
So
X Factor.
So here's how this game is going to work. I'm going to read off some tweets, and Mimi and Jetuan will try and guess what team the person who made the tweet plays on, okay? Or plays for. Bonus points if they can guess the player.
I won't get it right.
All right.
I already know I'm going to lose. Go ahead.
You never know. All right, let's start here. And I'm going to drop the date of the tweets too, just because I think that makes it a little more interesting. All right, so this tweet was on January 24th of this year. So just last week. And they said, valid crash out. Only apologizing to my Lord though, because he been working on me and I took a step back tonight. Who tweeted it? So you could guess the team and then bonus points if you could get the player.
Okay, read it one more time.
Valley crash out. Only apologizing to my Lord, though, because he been working on me and I took a step back tonight. That may or may not be their actual voice. It's up to you to decide.
Took a step back tonight. That means they got into some altercation or something.
And that's this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody from the Wings. Nobody from the Wings.
You can't say nobody. It like that. Are you guessing?
Well, I kind of feel like it's Mercury, but we lost so many players.
Oh, we gonna get into that.
Yeah, are they still with those teams?
Because it totally sounds like something Tasha Cloud would have said. But
I'll say this: this is not a trick question. There might be some quick.
I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go Mercury too. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mercury too.
You are both wrong.
Oh,
this tweet was tweeted by Arike Ogunbowale.
What did she do?
Something must have happened in Unrivaled. I must have missed it. But when I read it, I was like, I don't remember a crash out from Arike.
What?
But yeah.
Dang it.
Okay.
All right. Y'all both got that one wrong. Let's go to the next one. It reads, it was tweeted on November 2nd, 2024.
Okay.
And it reads, I love how I'm spazzing like I don't be on yearly contracts. LMAO, talking like I know my future. Laughing emoji, skull emoji.
That sounds like Odyssey Sims. Monique Billings. One of them.
What team? And just for our audience, so you guys remember, this tweet could be from the Dallas Wings, the Vegas Aces, or the Phoenix Mercury.
I'm going to go Monique Billings. She was on the Mercury and the Phoenix. She was on the Mercury and the Wings.
Okay, that's your guess. Jetuan, you need me to read it again?
I keep wanting to go Mercury for every answer, but I'm going to say Aces.
Jetuan is right. This is a Las Vegas Aces tweet. Bonus points if you know the player. You know the player?
It's probably somebody I don't like, so I'm not going to say. I don't know. I don't want to say. Okay, I'm not. No, you just tell me who it is. I'm not going to say.
I'm going to offer a bonus point to Mimi. Now that you know what team it is, if you could guess the player. Do you want the bonus point?
Yes, I will take a shot at it.
I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
I love how I'm spazzing like I don't be on yearly contracts. LMAO, talking like I know my future. Laughing emoji, skull emoji.
I'm going to just go with my girl, Sydney Colson.
Ding, 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 ding,
hey!
ding.
That's that. Yeah, that was, I was thinking somebody else, but definitely Sid Colson. Absolutely. Yeah, I really like her.
That's funny.
I do too. Okay. All right. Here we go. This was tweeted on December 12th of 2016.
Oh, Lord.
That was a long time ago. We're getting in the Wayback Machine.
And it reads, the all in, all the time attitude, behavior, and drive. That's the only way I know how to be.
Asia Wilson, Aces. Come on now.
No, that's a Mercury player. I feel like that's some DT shit. That's Diana Taurasi.
You're right. You are right.
That's Diana. She's so intense.
Yep. This was a tweeted December 12th, 2016 by Diana Taurasi.
I'm stupid. Asia didn't get to the W till 2017, right?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't even think Asia was in there, but I didn't want to be wrong because I was like, I saw her first year on the Aces, and I was like, this team's going somewhere. She is amazing. I was like, this team is gonna be abs. I still get the emails from the one game I went to in Vegas. I was like, this team is gonna be the team to watch out for.
Wow.
Yeah,
all right. We're gonna do a couple more and then we're gonna move on.
Oh god. I'm so competitive. I hate losing, so this sucks. This is hard. This is hard.
Well, the good news is the score doesn't matter.
It always matters. That's so cute. As long as you had fun. Bullshit.
We don't get no participation trophies over here.
Y'all are so competitive.
Let's go.
All right. So here's one. This was tweeted February 10th, 2023. Okay. People are funny AF, but I always get the last laugh. Demon emoji.
Oh.
People are funny AF, but I always get the last laugh. Demon emoji.
That kind of sounds like a little bit like Diana Taurasi, but that's somebody feisty. So? That's somebody on the Aces team. That's somebody on the Aces. That's somebody feisty. Them Aces people is fight. That's Aces, correct? Can I get a correct? And then I'll name. Is that a correct?
I need an answer from Jetuan.
I'm gonna say Wings just to be devil's advocate.
Okay.
Dallas Wings is correct.
Dang! Oh my god! Okay.
What?
But I can't think of who it is. Like I feel like who was on their team that year? I don't even think.
2023.
This was 2023.
As soon as
Satu, Arike, Natasha Howard.
So it was in the off season.
Kalani Brown.
I don't know why I feel like Izzy. I don't think Izzy would say something like that. Izzy Harrison. I don't think that's her though. She's not like that. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
All right, nobody got a bonus point.
Maybe
just
that.
I'm gonna just go with Arike. The vice Arike.
No, this is Tierra McCowan.
Oh. Okay.
The feisty one.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, she be giving me looks in my seat. Yeah, she mean. She's scary.
Okay, so this one is gonna be okay. It was tweeted April 5th, 2024.
Okay.
And it says, to call that on a game deciding play is so wrong. Wow. And this one's kind of a trick question.
She wasn't talking about WNBA then. She was talking about NBA or something then. Because what's playing
5th.
in April? Yeah.
To call that on a game deciding play is so wrong. Wow.
That's Final Four. That's NCAA Final Four.
She could have been talking about March Madness.
So the Aces always got South Carolina, Asia playing in Final Four. Arike went to Notre Dame, so she don't care nothing about it. So it ain't gonna be nobody from the Wings. Mercury. It's gonna be Aces.
I'm thinking Aces too, because I can't think of who in the Mercury would have said something like that.
Bonus points if you can guess the player.
Asia.
It is the Las Vegas Aces, but it is not Asia.
I'm gonna say it's like Plum or somebody.
It is Kelsey Plum.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You do it way better at this than you thought you were gonna do.
Right. You kicking my ass. Shit. Come on, feed me a bone, Mick. Feed me a bone.
All right, we're gonna do one more. Cause we gotta go. We running short on time. Okay. This was tweeted January 8th of this year. If anybody see Natasha Cloud, tell her it's on site.
Oh. I already knew it. That's Kalia freaking Copper. I'm pretty sure I read that.
You're right.
Read that.
What happened with them?
I think it's just a joke between them.
Because they love each other. They're boo. Yeah. They're straight up homies. But I think it was in reference to the Unrivaled, and just like it's on, like they were pumped about.
Gotcha.
So no, they're so cool. They're so cool. Yeah, that's. I knew that because I read that. I was like, those two. Like, I'm gonna miss that chemistry. I'm gonna. There's so many players I'm gonna miss. I'm like, how y'all do this to me? I mean, I get why, but still, I'm worried.
That's a perfect segue. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the free agency trades.
Let's talk about the time I played fantasy basketball with Diana Taurasi.
Oh,
they had a fantasy camp, and I've never played basketball, and I'm going on like a pick and roll against Leilani Mitchell and Diana Taurasi, and me and Diana are shit talking each other. She's like, follow your shot, and I'm like, I don't play basketball, Diana. we're like clowning each other. It was so fun. They're good.
Oh wow,
yeah, they're good people.
Oh, that's so dope. How long have you been a WNBA fan?
Probably like a decade or more, maybe like 12 years.
So you're not new to this. You true to this.
And we had season tickets for almost a decade. And honestly, we chose not to renew this year not because of anything really negative. It's more because I'm traveling more for comedy. And then like my little one doesn't really engage as much. And I was like, look, if I don't get season, when I do go, I can, because where my seats were, there's a floor seats and one row up. So we had amazing seats. But I'm like, if I don't go every game, I can afford to get seats every time you go. When I do go. Yeah. So, so it worked out. But it was nothing against the W. It wasn't because of rising prices. It wasn't because of anything. It was more just, I want to put the money more towards comedy. So
nice.
And plus, like, what's the point of going when the 6-year-old sitting there with headphones on the whole time because he gets bored? I'm like, I'm not paying all this money for
you
this.
might as well go by yourself, and then you could get great seats.
Exactly.
When you go to concerts and live events alone, this is something. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the trades.
Let me get my tissue.
So let's start with the aces. Let's start with Kelsey Plum. We got Kelsey Plum going over to the LA Sparks in a 3-team deal in which Las Vegas will get Jewel Lloyd and the Seattle Storm will get assets.
Come on, Aces fan.
Oh, you want to know how I feel?
Yeah. Yes, Aces fan.
I think we talked about it a little bit on the show last week when Michael was on. Like, I am not surprised that Kelsey Plum was ready to move on. I think that the Aces, that's Asia's team, and it seems like Kelsey wants to go have her own team kind of thing. So I'm surprised that she landed in LA. I thought she might land with the Valkyries, with the new team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised to see her land with the Sparks. But I also really like Jewel Lloyd, and I'm excited to cheer for her. I'm excited to put on a Jewel Lloyd jersey.
It's a smart move on the part of the Sparks to get her because I mean they needed an aggressive player like her, and I just saw that Emma Cannon just signed with them, and Emma I think is a player that in the W has been highly underrated. When she goes overseas, she's a superstar, but then she comes here and they're not using her as they should. She's she can play well, and she is an asset that I think the W has vastly overlooked. So I'm hoping with what the Spark needs to do that Emma will be able to shine and show the dominance that she has. So watch out for Emma Cannon this year.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows why Jewel Lloyd wanted to leave. So, but I think a good, like you were saying, Mick, like Kelsey Plum, I believe she's like a great point guard, but, like they said, could Kobe win a championship without Shaq? You know what I mean? And when he proved that, his game elevated. He became the Black Mamba when he won a championship without Shaq. So I think that Kelsey Plum, wants to prove that she can elevate a team without Asia because she hasn't won a ring without Asia. And she carried Washington in college, right?
Yeah.
She had the numbers before Caitlin Clark. You know, she could have 40-point nights, but I think she gave up some of that being at the Aces. You know, being that Asia's the star, as well as max contract. Everybody knows Asia's getting the max contract with the Aces, and now LA is going to give her the max contract. So I think this is just a move to elevate her status, elevate her stardom. She has her own cigars, all this stuff, and everything. And I think LA will be a great place for her, as well as like recently divorced, right? So all that. So she'll be outside. So LA going to be a good place for her.
And I was going to add that to it as well. Like, I think it's sometimes you got to move on from a place because they're personal things as well, like personal attachments. And I feel like that whole situation with her and her ex-husband, I can't think of his name right now.
Don't he still play for the Raiders? So they're kind of in the same city still?
No, he doesn't play football at all anymore.
Oh, but I mean, he did play for the Raiders, right?
He did play for the Raiders.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I feel like there's a lot of... I can't be mad at her for being like, I want a fresh start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Well, man, Jetuan, let's go move on to your Phoenix Mercury. I mean,
let's
your whole
go over there.
Starting
Where
5.
Where do we
your
start?
Whole starting 5 is
You doing
gone.
okay?
I'm not doing okay. I'm like, every day I was like, if they get rid of one more. And the thing is because of where I sit and because of how long we've been season tickets and stuff, I feel like I know these people. Like when you go up and I'm like Tasha, give me a hug, girl. How you been? Like when you hugging players. When my son was a preemie. I have a picture of BG holding my tiny preemie.
Oh.
And when she came back from Russia and saw him for the first time, her eyes bugged out her head because she's like, "What?" Like I get it. It's a game. It's a business. Whatever. But I'm like, y'all getting rid of family now. Like, hold up. Like, so I have to take the emotion out of it. And once I take the emotion out of it, I get it. I get it. But if they touch Kalia Coffer, look,
I don't think, if anything, I think it would be a terrible idea for them to mess with her. I think
they're not.
I said on our last episode that Phoenix needed to get younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kalia Copper is kind of, if anything, put some pieces around her. Don't move her.
And I'm surprised they got rid of Sophie. Like, I don't know the story behind that, because Sophie was really like entrenching herself in the Phoenix culture with like doing commentary and this and reaching out community work and stuff. So I was surprised at that. Like, I feel like
I'm sure she excited.
I know.
But Jetuan, why do you think Brittany Griner wanted a trade? Why do you think? Because she stated the reason she wanted to play in Unrivaled is because she wanted to show other teams, right, her talents and prove herself again, because she wanted to know what it was like to be a free agent and shop around.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, Mercury, I'm sure she's a diehard Mercury fan. I mean, the Mercury advocated for her in Russia, all that. She got a family now, stable, all that. Like, home is Phoenix now, right? Like, she's been there almost a decade. Why do you think she's going to Atlanta?
I honestly think the thing she said may have been in order to kind of save face, to make it seem more like she wanted to get out there. Because I think maybe they may have been motivated, because BG is dominant. However, BG is not always as consistent. BG lately has not always been as healthy physically and mentally. We get it. We all get that. However, like when you watch her run, she tends to not have slow. that same pep in her step. And so I think what's good for her is, I think, to go to a team like the Dream and that needs some heat, that needs some spark. I think it's kind of like, she is a big fish, but it's kind of being a new fish, in a new bowl, a big fish, a new bowl. And that's kind of what she's going to be. That's going to be a whole different like cultural background, being from the South and just going to the South. It's kind of nice feeling, feel there. Phoenix hits different. I'm telling you. And honestly, I would not be surprised if she wants to leave Arizona because of the Arizona people, not because the Phoenix team. Because I'm telling you, it is rough here for her. It is like they talk shit about her all the time, but I'm like, what about the white girl who had more shit on her in Russia than Britney did, but she got out with a $250 fine? What about you trying to make Britney look like a bad person? What about when she saved that dude's life in the desert 3 summers ago?
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, like she's been amazing.
I think people forget that. I think people forget that. Like, they think it's because it's the West. They forget it's the Southwest.
Oh, it's red as fuck, y'all. It's horrible out here. It's so bad for it, for Black and queer. It's hostile territory. And so I don't blame her. And I think it's going to push her. I can watch this summer. How much you want to bet BG's gonna come down? She's gonna have slimmed up at least 10 pounds. She's going to be hitting it differently. How much you want to bet? She's going to come out and you're going to be like, this BG 5 years ago. How much you want to bet? I'll put money right now. That's going to be a fire because she's got shit to prove.
I don't know, Jetuan.
Where
Atlanta
is her wife from?
Oh, they got good food.
Atlanta got good food. Got good fried chicken and mac and cheese. She might gain 15 pounds. So I'm gonna go on the other side of you, and I'm gonna challenge you on that.
You better not. Watch. I'm telling you, because the thing is like,
no, she about to be in Hotlanta. Brittany Griner is about to live her best life in Atlanta. Yes, she's gonna slim down. We gonna see her studded out every game, like, because it's gonna be. But I was curious, like, where is her wife from? Is her wife from Atlanta? Because it's given, like, I want to retire. I want to live in Atlanta. So.
I thought Jarrell was from Texas too, because they met.
No, she's from.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, she's either from Arkansas, Alabama, one of the A's. She said it in her books, and they met at Baylor. But she's from the South. But I was saying, you right, Mick, that like her in Atlanta, they about to have a good time. They was already on the boat in Miami fishing with Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray. They was already, having a good time, on the water.
Atlanta
and everything.
Is a good time for mass presenting women. Every time I go to Atlanta, I have
She's married, Mick. She's married. BG's married.
I'm not even talking about that. Why your mind in the gutter? Like, I'm just saying, I have a wang dang doodle every time I go there.
Okay.
Let's talk about, we got Natasha Howard. We're going to move through this a little quicker. We got Natasha Howard going to Indiana, which I feel like anybody going to Indiana got to be happy about it.
Okay, you're right. Arkansas. You're right. Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the Dallas Wings, though, Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Smith. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Couple goals in Dallas, Texas. What?
Nice. We took Satu Sabali. I'm all right. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. But I gotta say, Dallas Wings is gonna be feisty as fuck. Enrique hot ass. Dejanay hot ass. Mm-hmm. Like, we about to be like this little coach. I hope he can control these tempers over here. We recruiting, and this surfs up dude coming in. He better learn how to control these dudes, these women in his locker room.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a sight to see.
We got DeWanna Bonner also in Indiana.
That's crazy.
I forgot. That's right.
Why did they split up? Like they just got engaged. Is there trouble in paradise? Like, why are y'all going? Why y'all split up?
Like, why wouldn't you split up? Like, you can't expect to play for the same team forever. And when you do everything together, it gets pretty boring pretty quick. Like, you gotta have some separate experiences to bring together. But I'm like, they can't expect to play for the same team forever.
Yeah.
So
I get that, but it seemed like they looked so happy coming into the tunnels together, holding hands, like their relationship was their story it was a part of their greatness in the W.
It still will be. Like, I feel like it actually might be expanded because look how we go up for Dejanay Carrington and her girl.
Right.
You know
what I mean?
Wait, who's she with?
Melissa Smith.
Oh,
and they're both gonna be in Dallas Wings now.
Yeah, they're gonna be in the Dallas.
I didn't know that.
Yes, the girl. There's a bunch of memes.
Super cute. They're cute.
There's a Dejanay.
So now we gonna get AT and some Indiana games, and we gonna get more storyline.
But the Phoenix gonna have a good team. I mean, Alyssa Thomas, Satu, as well as Kalia Copper. I mean, that's elite status right there.
Okay, hold on. How mad we gonna be if Diana Taurasi come back one more season?
The girl.
After all of that, the tears and the this, I had somebody ask me to mail them streamers from when she got her, was it 3,000 or something? I can't remember. I mailed some dude streamers and stuff. So crazy.
I feel like she gonna play another season, one more season.
Why she put the mic on the ground like Kobe did then? Is she coming back? Why she put the mic on the ground?
I don't know. She gives me Tom Brady vibes. Like she don't really want to give it up.
True. Very true.
Let's get into some Unrivaled. Oh, my fault, Mimi.
The Unrivaled?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
All right, let's just hit some standings. We've got in first place the Lunar Owls. They're 5-0. They're the only undefeated team. Laces took two defeats recently. And actually, I think the Lunar Owls play tonight, so there might be a game that I'm missing. But then we got the Laces at number 2. We got the Vinyl at number 3 at 2-3. We got the Miss at 2-4. Phantom at 2-4, and Rose at 2-4. Everybody's having a losing season so far, except the Lunar Owls and the Laces. And again, the Owls are 5-0. The Laces are 4-2.
Unrivaled is crazy.
And the Laces are beat up. I got to speak up for my team. We beat up.
Yeah, y'all about to go down.
Until we get AT back.
Yeah, y'all about to go down. But didn't I say, I said if the Phantom don't win, it would be the Lunar Owls? I said that, right? Yeah, I said that. So
you did.
Yeah. No, but
but you picked the Phantom and they 2-4. So
yeah.
I'm looking at scores. I'm looking at scores right now.
But I will say,
there's a game on right now.
No, they're over.
Oh,
they're over. Who won?
Yeah, they're
tonight?
over.
Okay, so the standings I read are true standings then.
Yeah, so it's the Mist over the Phantom and the Owls over the Vinyl.
Yep.
Well, I gotta say, speaking of injuries, I mean, does this scare y'all that these they are playing hard as fuck?
Yep.
And Unrivaled. I appreciate that, right? These women understand that every time they step out on and have a platform that they need to play hard as hell, right? That's why the NBA All-Star game is trying to come up with so many ideas to get people to watch, because the players don't play hard. You know what I mean? And people are tired of watching BS, bullshit, right? And so these women are playing their ass off, and injuries come when that happens. Are y'all scared? I mean, AT just got hurt. She's going to the Phoenix and just got a new contract. Is owners scared, about their bread and butter getting into Unrivaled and either being burnt out, injuries? Is this a good thing or a bad thing for the W?
I mean, I think it's nothing different than them going overseas and playing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same risk. But I feel like they're being really conservative in Unrivaled. I feel like Jackie Young probably could have played 2 weeks ago. But, I feel like they're being extra conservative. And so I think they're taking really good care of the players. I think they just not making them play on injuries. Probably if this was a WNBA season, AT would probably be playing. That's just my thought. But I feel like they not making them play through they're not playing through injuries. I'm not saying making, but that's just my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. What about this 1v1 though? That's gonna be sick. And then I want to, I gotta talk about something funny. That Angel Reese ejection. And did y'all see her with her head through the little what is it? Through the little curtain, peeping on the game, like, y'all let me out my box. That was so cute. I gotta love Angel Reese. Like, she
missed it.
Comedy.
It was a bullshit ejection. Okay, so we all know Tiffany Hayes be flopping all over the fucking place, man. Come on. Like, and she said, one thing Tiffany Hayes is gonna do is get the foul. Like, she gonna do that. But she makes me nervous because she be all over the place, falling all over the floor. She always look like she gonna get hurt. And this is one of those times where Tiffany Hayes had flopped. She was on her Tiffany Hayes antics. I love Tiffany Hayes, so that's not shade. But she was on her Tiffany Hayes antics, and Angel like did her hand as like a brush away to Tiffany, and I think the ref thought she was doing it to him, and so he teed her up for that. And so then she was trying to explain herself, and the whole time Tiffany Hayes is like in front of her face antagonizing her, like, but she's trying to explain herself, and she gets a second tech, and they eject her from the game.
Crazy.
Dang.
Gotta love it. Gotta love the drama. Well, I can't wait for
Unrivaled is giving everything we wanted. Like, if you ain't watching Unrivaled, man, go watch it. It streams on Max, so even if you can't catch it live, you can watch the games back, and they are good games. Very good games.
I feel like having Unrivaled is in regards to like injury and stuff like that. I feel like it's a nice way to open up a chance at advancement, professional advancement, to a lot more women that may not get to play in that arena. Like, they're not just done after college, or they're not just hopeful that they get to go to overseas to play. So I think it's a nice way to like open them up to possibly, get that recognition here in this country and potentially be seen to be called up to the W. So I think, it's a risk to some, but it actually opens the doors for others. So
yeah, I think the attention that they'll get will definitely like open the doors to expand it. And even though right now, like, we're just watching players from the W play, like, I think we could definitely in the future see like some players from other professional leagues in there too. And that would be cool. That would be exciting. All right, we got Asia and Caitlin's jersey retirements.
Oh, yeah. That was dope.
Let's talk about Big Asia first. Yeah, so Asia's jersey was retired in South Carolina. Well deserved.
Yep.
Well, crazy thing about it is, and I had to Google it, Dawn made sure everyone knew that Asia's jersey wasn't getting retired. Her number was getting retired. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is the difference between a jersey and a number retired? And so when your jersey is retired, that means, just your name, and you could put, the number up there, but somebody still can wear that number after like a certain period of time. But if your number is retired, that number will never, ever be worn in the history of South Carolina ever again.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So a number retirement is more epic than a jersey retirement. So like, kudos to Asia. I mean, and getting her flowers while she's alive. I mean, this world is also, she's also female athlete of the year with that. So she got female athlete of the year with the jersey number retirement. I mean, she booed up. She living her best life right now. And like Don said, she's not even at her peak. She's only 28 years old. So, you get to your peak around 31, so that's just awesome.
I love to see it.
Y'all know all the gossip. Now I'm Googling to see who her boo is.
Bam! Miami Heat.
Yeah, her boo is Bam. How do you say his last name?
Adidoko or something like that.
My laptop just died, so I can't look it up. But yeah, he plays for the Miami Heat. One thing because we're going to talk about the WNBA being played in college, the WNBA preseason games being played in college arenas. And I realized I left off our outline the LSU and Oklahoma game.
Mm-hmm.
Where there were multiple ejections that I can't even look up now because my laptop died. But it was a very feisty game, lots of ejections. Kim Mulkey got a tech. Did Kim Mulkey get 2 techs that day or just 1?
She just got 1 because if you get 2 techs, you're ejected. She just got 1.
Okay. So she got 1 tech. And the big talk of this game has been how Simone Augustus, who is a renowned ball player in her own right, was holding, she's an assistant coach for LSU. She's holding the book of plays or whatever it was. And Kim Mulkey is having a Kim Mulkey tantrum. And she comes over and in Kim Mulkey style slams the notebook out of Simone Augustus' hand. And Simone does not put her hand down. She continues to stand there just looking at her hand with the empty notebook in it.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
What are your thoughts on this? I feel like everybody's so mad at Kim, and I'm just like, this tracks. This is a typical Kim Mulkey tantrum. Yeah. She was not insulting Simone Augustus.
No.
She needed to hit something, and that's what was there, so she hit it. I don't even think Simone Augustus was probably offended by it.
No, Kim probably paid her mortgage that much just so that Kim could do that. Like that's Kim being Kim in Kim's fashion. Kim is an entertainer.
Tantrums.
Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she be living in the moment. You know what I mean? I don't take no offense to it. I think it was funny. I think it was TV. You know, Kim lives for that stuff. So
she really does. I think that's what people don't understand. Like they be so pressed about her going crazy and look at her. She's insane. And I'm like, this is what she does. This school lives for this behavior from her. She's been doing this longer than some of y'all. She been having tantrums longer than some people mama's been alive.
That's LSU's identity, right? Coach Yo said in an interview, she was like, I just told my girls, we're about to go into a clown show. You know what I mean? When you go into the PMAC Center, when you go into LSU, the first thing you got to do is get over the crowd and the antics and the, flashy and the dramatic and the scene. Like that is it. Kim Mulkey's character has become LSU's identity. Like that all fits. Like people go to an LSU game, yes, to watch a good game, but they also go to see what is going to happen outside the game. Like what drama, because there's going to be some drama. What drama can they talk about on Monday? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I just didn't mean that. Call that out.
I'm from Louisiana, but
okay.
I was raised in Lake Charles. I was born in New Orleans.
I'm from Port Arthur.
Are you? Yeah. So yeah, that's like 45 minutes away from Lake Charles, Mick.
Yeah.
So I personally have never, because I went to McNeese, which was a smaller school, didn't get as much attention and stuff like that. And I always felt like, LSU always gets all the whatever. And I've always had a grudge against people from Baton Rouge. And when I see Southern white women doing stuff like that, it strikes me a little different because I feel like this shit they always get away with. But had that been a Black female coach that did that, we would have had bigger problems. But then because she's white and who she is, it's funny because everyone knows this is a problem until the problem becomes big enough. Because in its essence, that is very toxic. However, the sports environment is very passionate, very, and I get it, but I get it. I'm not going to shit on them about it. However, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it because I know I could never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? They would have my fucking head if I did that to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It would depend on who you did it to.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you did
absolutely.
it to Simone Augustus, you would probably be fine because she's a black woman.
Yeah.
But
let me do that to somebody
you know what
white.
I mean?
Exactly.
Do that to some white assistant coach.
And
yeah,
I hate to boil it down to that. However, growing up in the Deep South and witnessing the double standards that are given, that tracks. Like that tracks. You know, it is the way it is. You know, and it's just I get it. I mean, how many of us haven't done something in the heat of the passion, and the second you do it, you're like, ooh, that was too far. I get that.
Yeah, like I need to calm down.
I get it.
I've absolutely been there.
I don't do it every fucking season. I don't do it 3 times a season. You know, like this is.
I mean, at this point, they paying her to do it.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? They at this point they paying her to do it,
yep.
And because Kim Mulkey could retire at any time, like she's back because they keep paying her to come back.
As long as they continue to get the money and the recognition, she can do whatever she wants. To go to an LSU game is in Louisiana. That's the thing. We know people that'll drive 2 hours from Lake Charles to go to LSU game. Mm-hmm. Like that is part of the status of the South. And it really is. It really is to be like, you got your LSU shirts and you go over here. Like that is part of South Louisiana culture to be an LSU person. Mm-hmm. You know, I have friends who work in the balloon world in Baton Rouge, and they're like, yep, I don't work on this day because I'm doing the LSU game. I'm da 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 da. You know, like it's part of the culture.
A big thing.
You know, but when those people stop making it part of the culture and they stop pouring the money into those seats, then they may have a problem with her tantrums. But right now,
agreed.
Her tantrums are continuing to make the money come in. I get it. It's a business. I get it. I don't have to like it, but I get it.
Yeah. Hey, speak your truth. I love it. Speak your truth. Yeah. I love it. I will say she did get a tech for that, and she felt she was wrong, but they did give her a tech for that.
Yeah. And the thing is from Simone's point of view, she was not given the luxury to perhaps react the way she would have if there weren't a scrutiny on her. So
it's not like she had a choice.
She had to do the grand code switch. What is the right way to react to this? Can you imagine that split second thinking, like, how do I react to that? Can you imagine some nobody did that, Simone Augustus? How do you think she would have reacted?
Mm-hmm. Man.
You see, so like,
I wonder though if it's one of those things. Like, I wonder if the relationship there is such that it's like, I see your shit and it doesn't bother me, or if it's like, you put me in a weird spot on TV. You know what I mean?
True. Well, either way, even if they have a good reaction, Simone is still in the situation where she has to react in a certain way that palatizes it for both of them. And so you know, like if I call my husband stupid, he knows I'm playing. Boy, you stupid. But the thing is do I yell that in the grocery store? Boy, you stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. Because then you got to think like this is Simone's first year in coaching. So you know, she kind of needs Kim Mulkey to give that good recommendation. Yeah. If she ever, you know what I'm saying? All that. And like you got to think like Simone and Kim was at Baylor. So Kim is not Simone's coach. So they just started developing a relationship maybe 2 years ago. When Kim Mulkey took the job, 3 years ago when Kim Mulkey took the job. So, I mean, you know, it's still, you know, they are familiar, but it's not familiar like, hey, you know, so I'm sure she's still calling her Coach Mulkey instead of Kim, you know. Yeah. So, but speaking of LSU and the PMAC, the WNBA got some new waves going where Chicago Sky is going to play their first game against the Brazilian national team at the PMAC in May, as well as Caitlin Clark.
Tell our viewers what the PMAC is.
The PMAC is where LSU plays their home basketball games for girls basketball. in Baton Rouge. So it's kind of
So
like bringing the Bayou Barbie back home, right? And I think this is gonna be a great thing. Caitlin Clark is doing it. We're gonna talk about Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement as well. But Indiana Fever's first preseason game is gonna be in Iowa, facing the Brazilian national team. So Brazilian national team is gonna just do a tour, and so she's gonna go back to Iowa. And so pre-sale tickets, that everybody's already talking about it. I'm sure all of it's gonna be sold out. Bayou Barbie going back home, the GOAT Caitlin Clark going back home. So I think this is cool that the W is doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think it's cool too. Yeah, I think it's a good thing just to elevate women's basketball in general. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah.
But didn't Asia start it though? Like you gotta bring it back to Asia. Like because the Aces played at South Carolina this past year. She was the first, and then now they're doing it with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So that's dope.
I'm gonna give it to Don. I'm gonna say, didn't Don do it first? Just because any chance I get to say give Don Staley flowers, I do. So I'm gonna say, didn't Asia and Don do it first?
Yeah.
Hey, dope. I mean, Don did
dynamic duo.
Paris. Don did the Paris games in Paris first, and then Notre Dame and USC, and man, that's so amazing.
Yeah. All right, so it's Black History Month. Dun 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 dun. Bing.
Boop.
Well,
yes, before
Black
you get
History
into that,
Month is not canceled this year.
Hold on, Mick. Hold on. Before you get into that, I mean, we got to give Caitlin Clark her spotlight on her jersey retirement. We never really talked about it though.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So is it jersey or number?
They said jersey retirement.
Okay.
So the only reason I know Asia did number retirements because Don specified. But crazy thing is, like, Iowa beat USC at home. Like, USC is ranked number 4 and Iowa beat them, right? Which was so amazing. Caitlin's Clark family was there. I mean, Caitlin's just being humble as humble can be, humble pie can be. So I thought it was great. She stayed for the whole game instead of just like the first half, so I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good to honor her. Her old coach was there. I think David Letterman was there. Like, it was crazy.
Go Caitlin Clark.
I love it. I love you're like go her.
No, I don't have anything against Caitlin Clark. I just be heavy on Asia. Like,
heavy
on Asia.
I'm happy.
But no, I'm like, good for her for getting her jersey retired. That's a huge accomplishment, and Iowa owes a lot to Caitlin Clark.
Right. But
yeah.
I will say Nike. They're both 22, right? So I like they're both 22, and they both got their jerseys retired on February 2nd, 2/2. Right. So Nike actually changed their Instagram profile pic to 2/2, like the color, like the maroon color of the Gamecocks. And then they had a yellow gold color of Iowa 2/2 on it, and combined Asia and Caitlin together. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is super cool.
Yeah, that they did that. And did a whole dedication to Asia and Caitlin, and kind of like combined it. It's like such a coincidence that they're both 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I'm very pleased for her. It's hard to have like a little bias against her just because of all of the spin that goes with her, and honestly, the demographic she draws when she shows up to games. I'm like, it's
her fans are
the Caitlin supporters are not. They're not W people. They're Caitlin supporters, and so that's what sucks, because the woman works hard. She works. She does. She works hard,
and she deserves all her things.
And she really does. But it sucks because I'm sitting every time I say this, I'm like, but you bring her up like she's the new coming Christ. But I'm like, we had saviors before this chick was born. Like what you talking about? But but she works hard. But I mean, honestly, you can work hard. You can make it to the W. But when you look at someone like Asia, who's constantly evolving who she is, changing workouts, being consistent, being professional, and doing it with that humility, she came, she was hot, she stayed hot. So let's talk about Caitlyn in 3 years. Let's see. Will she stay hot? She probably will. But I don't.
Yeah, I think she will. But she'll have more for us to say.
She got DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Aaliyah Boston on her team,
and
Sophie Cunningham, and Kelsey Mitchell coming back. Oh shit! God,
they still got. Is that the team Lexi Hall plays for still? No? What team does Lexi Hall play for? She plays for Indiana, right?
I don't even know who that is.
Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall is a hell of a shooter.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I think Sophie's going to be good.
She plays in Unrivaled for the Laces currently.
Okay. I think I just saw her name on something for Laces.
Jesus. Contrary to popular belief, Black History Month is still on this year. We have not canceled it. The committee of the Black Coalition of Negroes came together and decided that we will still, in fact, have Black History Month this year. All right.
I'm still Black.
So, I'm Black as fuck, man. I really am. So Mimi got some Black history facts for us.
So listen to this. Founded in 1931. 1931. Okay. Two of the earliest all Black, all female basketball clubs were founded in Philadelphia, led by a lady named Ora Mae Washington and Chicago Ramos. Both teams were made of 10 each of all Black women who played against both male and female teams. Never lost a game for 6 years after World War II. The team was 1939 to 1945. Actually, the WNBA shared that on their page, and I want to spotlight that. It's just so much Black women's basketball have been since the beginning of time. As you all know, the first woman being drafted into the WNBA was a Black woman, Cheryl Swoops, right? Then we have majority of the WNBA is always Black, being that it has always been 60% or more women in the W being Black women. So, yes, we have the spotlight on us now, but I'm proud to say that our Black women have a platform and are doing wonderful things. Like Angel Reese, she got a meal deal for McDonald's. You can go get an Angel Reese meal. That has never happened. She's the first female athlete to get a meal deal, not Serena, not Coco Gauff. Like Angel Reese is the first female athlete to get a meal deal outside of Michael Jordan, right? There's been entertainers like Cardi B, Offset got their meal deal, but she's going to be the first Black woman to do it. And so we're still making history. So I just wanted to spotlight that out for Black History Month.
That's awesome.
Yay. I love us for real. And now let's sing the Negro National Anthem.
We gonna cut you off.
Yeah, that's
we gonna cut you off.
Whatever. If the viewers want it, if y'all want to hear me sing the Negro National Anthem, please let us know. Please tell us. I'll be happy to oblige.
Oh Lord.
All right. Well, we ran long today, but we got such a great show, and we've had so much fun. Thank you, Jetuan, again for joining us today. It's been so fun having you on. Tell everybody again where they can find your Instagram or whatever socials you have, not just Instagram.
My comedy Instagram is funnyjet1, FUNNYJET1. Thank you for having me. This has been really fun. I don't know half the tea y'all know. So I'm like, oh, who's this? Who's that? Let me look at this. So this was a really good conversation. It was a little bit of everything. I enjoyed it. I have a lot of friends that follow that are like, give me the link as soon as it comes out. I want it. So hopefully we get y'all some new ears and eyes watching, because this was fun.
Yay.
Many success. Many years of success.
Yes, thank you. And I
And
saw your show, by the way, in Phoenix at All Star. I was with Mick, and I'm not even gonna lie, like out of all the comics, and I mean all of them, you're the one
be careful,
comic.
Sam J was there.
You were the one comic. Okay, I'm not a comedian, so I'm not in y'all. So you were the one comic that made me chuckle. And when I say chuckle, what I mean is like, like made me like, everything was, okay, that's cute. That's a good joke. You were the one comic that made me chuckle and choke on my spit. So
thank you.
I will say I loved you. So
that's the best.
So we are really bad at sharing where you can find us, but I am Ask for Mick on all platforms, ASKFORMIK, and Mimi.
Coach J Green.
I don't think
on Instagram.
I'm following you right now, Coach J Green. Got it.
All right. Well, until next time. Peace.
Thank you.